So recently, Riot put out the newest expansion for Legends of Runeterra, Glory in Navori. Like the Darkened saga before it, this expansion seems focused on telling a singular narrative through the new champions and their followers. And while the stakes aren't quite so apocalyptic this time, somehow it manages to feel even more chaotic. So, after discussing the matter with a friend on Discord and trying to piece together the order of events based on what we have so far, I'd like to share with you all the story of a tournament arc gone very, very wrong. Now, keep in mind that this video might not actually be 100% accurate because it's a little tough to actually place the exact order of certain cards, and some things appear to be left more or less up to interpretation. Still, I'm going to do my best to give you all the general gist of what's happening. Without any further delays, let us begin, shall we? So our story begins, fittingly enough, in the Navori province of Ionia. This is where Set runs his arena that he procured from Noxian ownership, and has set himself up as the boss. Anyways, while the exact details are unclear, Set appears to be prepping for a big tournament, sending out invites far and wide for the best fighters he can find. The prize? A belt and a not inconsequential sum of money, from the looks of it. Meanwhile, in Bilgewater, a brawl is going down on the King's Court, the ship of Jack the Winner. For those unfamiliar with the character, Jack is a notorious figure in Bilgewater's underground. He runs his own fight racket aboard his ship, and tonight a match is going down between a fellow Sharkvistian known as Angel and some poor sod who appears to have underestimated her. We don't know the outcome of this fight exactly, but it's probably safe to assume that Angel won. Unfortunately, her prize money is soon stolen by a pickpocket. Angel's not the only one getting her valuables swiped, though. Up in the bridge, an unknown Ionian passenger is being rather roughly escorted before the captain, for some unknown reason. One of Jack's acquaintances, Mad Ol' Babs, rummages through his pockets and discovers an invitation, a ticket to a grand fighting tournament taking place in Navori. Knowing her boss, Babs presents the invitation to Jack, who immediately takes an interest. What becomes of the ticket's original owner is unknown. Meanwhile, someone else receives an invite, a mysterious figure we know only as the Old-Timer. This man is heavily implied to be Set's father, and it would seem that he's racked up some considerable debts since abandoning his son all those years ago. Enough of a debt to get a bounty on his head. With seemingly little choice but to stake his life on his profession, which is also pit fighting, the Old-Timer makes for Ionia, hoping to win the grand prize, most likely as a means of paying off his debts. Unfortunately for him, his debtors are tired of waiting for repayment, but they know the old man is tough. So they call in the best of the best to hunt him down and collect their due in blood, if not coin. They call in the most infamous mercenary in Noxus, Samira. Having deduced the Old-Timer's destination, Samira calls in some favors from a few mercenary friends, who help her forge some invites and infiltrate the arena to find their mark. Meanwhile, the King's Court surfaces in Navori Harbor. The ship apparently has the power to travel underwater, like the Flying Dutchman in Pirates of the Caribbean, but no one appears to know why or how. If I were to guess, I'd say it's probably because Jack appears to have relations with the demon Tom Kench, but it hardly matters. Using the invite he got from his Ionian passenger, Jack storms into the arena with his crew, itching and eager for a worthy fight. Little does he know that things are about to escalate into a full-on brawl. One of Jack's crewmates, Knuckle, gets into a scrap with the Old-Timer and loses badly. Unfortunately for him, Samira seems to have pegged the old man as her mark, and despite his initial words of warning, the Old-Timer is quick to book it through the arena, with Samira and her fellow mercenaries hot on his tail. It's at this very moment, though, that the first match of the night is underway. Round 1 appears to be between the pit professional, whose name is Kolo, and the dashing dandy, as well as whoever this is on the left here. Either way, the professional beats both of them. As Kolo celebrates her victory, though, Dame the Despoiler leaps into action, most likely to join Samira on her chase. Also, at some point, one of Samira's crew tries to murder one of Jack's, but I guess he's alright because round 2 is about to begin. This time, it's 3 against 1, as Knuckle, Mako, and Bull are all ganging up on Kolo. It's not clear who wins this fight exactly, or why this was even allowed, though I'm not entirely convinced that Kolo survived this. Also, I guess Knuckle got better after his beatdown from the old-timer. In any case, it's time for round 3, in which Jack finally preps to get a piece of the action. Okay, in all seriousness, it's likely that some more fights happened off-screen because if this is supposed to be a tournament, the progression of matches doesn't really make a whole lot of sense here. Either way, this is apparently the championship bout, because Jack's opponent in this fight is none other than Set himself. The boss versus the winner. 2 reigning champions facing off to decide once and for all who the best brawler is. Presumably, Samira is still hunting the old-timer at this point, but frankly, Set doesn't seem to mind the chaos ensuing in the arena. In fact, he's grateful for it. Set knows too well that if all you do is sit up on a throne, you get soft and your skills dull. Jack's a challenger worthy of the Beastman bastard, and these two are going all out. Jack harnesses the power of whatever magic is flowing through his veins and goes full kaiju mode. I'm not sure if this is a demonic power given to him by Tom or just something his Sharkman species can do by default, but either way, he's out for blood as much as gold or glory at this point. Set's got a trick or two up his sleeve, though. He may only technically be half Vastayan, but the magic in his veins is still potent. Energy crackles as Set's inner beast finally lets loose. He's not your average Vastayan warrior anymore. No, he has become the stuff of legend. The one, the only, Super Vastayan. The crowd roars as these two beastmen clash, fueled by magic and sheer determination. Set rushes in, charging up his fist for a mighty punch. Jack stands his ground and lets out a terrifying roar. This will be a battle for the ages. But unfortunately, how the battle ends will have to be left up to your imagination, because that's about as far as the story goes up to this point. Will Set be able to defend his title? Will Jack take home the prize? And whatever became of Samira and the old-timer? Find out next time on Navori Ball Z. Also, at some point during all of that, this random old dude with a cyborg arm shows up and starts wrecking Jack's ship. We don't know where he came from, what his deal is, or why he's making a mess of the king's court. Apparently no one else does either. So, yeah, that's a thing that happened. So our story begins, fittingly enough, in the blah 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 blah. Let's try that again. Anyways, while the exact details are unclear, Set appears to be prepping for a big tournament, sending out invites far and wide for the best farters that he can find. Oh no, that's a very different kind of tournament. Oh no. Knowing her boss, Babs presents the invite to Jack, who immediately takes interest. Blah. Damn it. Ugh. The crowd roars as these two beast men clash, fueled by magic and sheer determination. Set charges in, charging up his fist for a mighty punch. I'm going to redo that because that sounds redundant.